Welcome back now to that big political story in the battle for Tamil Nadu, where the DMDK, a small regional party founded by late actor Vijaykanth ahead of the 2006 assembly elections, today decided to join hands with the DMK. Both the NDA and the DMK Vasudha were trying to woo the DMDK, which won just around 3% vote share in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls, contesting on its own. But the DMDK seems to have chosen Vasudha, the already crowded and heavily crowded, if I may add, DMK alliance.
That's right, Veera. Let's not forget that the DMK is already facing growing heat from the Congress party, which is demanding a greater number of seats than what it got in 2021 and also demanding a share of power if the alliance wins. Now, this is going to be a tricky exercise for the Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, to keep an alliance of over 14 parties together in these polls. Congress and DMK will have seat-sharing talks on the 22nd of February, and this is at a time when sections within the Congress party seem to be flirting with actor-turned-politician Vijay and the TVK. So what is the alliance game in Tamil Nadu looking like? Two of our experts join us in just a bit. But first, let's listen in to what Premalatha Vijaykanth said today.
Joining us, DMDK Chief, Mrs. Premalatha Vijaykanth. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. What is that one aspect that made you decide that you will join hands with the DMK?
DMK, because all DMDK cadres and the district secretaries, this time they like to go with ally with DMK. That is the main reason for we are going with them.
Would you expect the seats you contested in 2021?
Yeah, hope for the best. CM Stalin sir will announce that.
Have you been assured also of a Rajya Sabha seat?
Everything, we have the rights to ask them. Surely before they announce, I can't talk about that. It's not fair. So surely CM sir will announce that.
In 2006, your party became the key opposition party, winning 29 seats. After that, a series of setbacks. Now you think you'll be able to revive the party?
No, small correction. 2006 was the first
11.
election. 8.33 Captain proved and he won in Virudhachalam. 2011 we won 29 seats and he was the opposition leader. After that, this is going to be the very biggest success for all the ally party.
What do you bring to the DMK alliance now?
DMK alliance, we are going to work together and we are going to serve for the Tamil Nadu people, and this alliance is going to be the very great success.
Ma'am, you're the only woman in that sense in Tamil Nadu to lead and head a political party. How challenging it is, particularly after the captain's passing away?
Yeah. See, everyone is facing lot of problems, but politics is more very sensitive issues are there. We have to face lot of struggles and everything. We have to face, because he gave me the very big thing to in my hands, Captain. These lakhs and lakhs of people is there. My party cadres are there. Till the root level, we are having lakhs of cadres. So I have to fulfill their wishes. This DMDK is a very big party. So I am working for my cadres.
It was in 2011 where a DMDK party secured a notable and meritorious victory, having allied with AIADMK. The leader and founder Vijaykanth was crowned as a leader of opposition, post which whatever decision they had taken during the election times have resulted in a zero. And 2026, yet another instance where the decision of DMDK joining a losing campaign and a losing party will give them the same results.
Well, so what does this mean in Tamil Nadu's arithmetic game? Vasudha, joining us this evening, R.K. Radhakrishnan and Ramaswamy Meyyappan, both of who follow Tamil Nadu very closely. Before we get to the DMDK aspect, Radhakrishnan, and understand why it's perhaps an important party in Tamil Nadu, if it is at all, let me first ask you this. Where is the DMK going to find the seats to share? Because Congress is asking for more. DMDK wants the number of seats it contested in 2021. You have the MNM, which is part of the alliance now. Where is Stalin going to find the seats to part with?
Veera, I think he can pull out a rabbit from the hat, but the point happens to be that the DMK will have to contest lesser number of seats. There is no getting around that fact. It cannot be 188. It probably will be closer to 140 or 150. like the DMK did in 2006 and fell short of a majority and came up with could win only 96 seats. I think that's where we are headed. But the fact of the game is that this is a perception game, Veera, and I think this is where the DMK has won today. In fact, I've written about it in the Frontline today. Basic thing is that the DMK had Rajya Sabha seats to dangle in front of its allies, including the Congress and the DMDK, desperate to have a representative in Delhi. Finally, it has got one. Of course, the DMK has to announce it and all that.
Right.
Partly facilitated by Kanimuli, and you can see there that Udaynidhi actually is standing away from Sudesh. I mean, he had allowed Kanimuli to stand there. I think this picture is actually very significant, Veera, because it also shows that there is some patch up or kind of understanding between the nephew and the Kanimuli as well. So,
Right.
I
Very
see a lot of
interesting
things-
observations there. We wish we could talk to you more about that, but we'll take that off the record. But Ramaswamy Mayappan, the fact that Premalatha was in talks with the NDA alliance and also with the DMK alliance, and the fact that she chose to go with DMK, what does this mean? What does this say about the NDA's negotiating power? Because I have sources within the NDA, and it looked like they also wanted her on their side, but clearly she seems to have made this decision. Mr. Mayappan, please unmute yourself.
भारतवासियों को और भारत माता को मेरा प्रणाम. See, very pertinent. Everyone wants to show that their alliance has the strength and everyone wants to join their alliance. But at the end of the day, these things comes down to a number. And DMK was willing to barter its one Rajya Sabha representative and have one representative less in the parliament and have another ally just to show strength. It's an emotion that they can show that we have one more party that joined us, a one-person party earlier. Makal Nidhimayam Kamala Hassan had joined and he's now a Rajya Sabha member. So that's something that the DMK wants to show. But from the NDA, their PowerPoint now is that they don't have to share seats.
Right, we seem to be having trouble with that line with... We seem to be having trouble with that line with Ramaswamy Mayappan. We'll try and sort that line out. But my larger question, and I'm just putting this as somebody who covered the 2006 elections, you know, when Vijaykanth really made a big impact with over 8% seats. Remember 2011, Vasudha, he formed an alliance at that time with J. Jayalalitha and became the principal opposition party with the number of seats, because in that alliance the DMK was swept out, and that was the 2G election. R.K. Radhakrishnan, my question is, from that time, after Vijaykanth's passing away in 2023, the DMDK could manage only 3% vote share in 2024. Is it still a force that needs to be wooed? Does it really change the arithmetic game, or is it just a matter of optics?
See, Veera, we have moved away from this concept of strength of political parties. We have moved to a space of perceptions. We have moved to from political leaders handling elections to political strategists handling elections. This is an election which is managed completely by political strategists, and that is where this entire thing of DMDK's 0.5% comes in, and you create the perception that the DMK and Congress alliance has the momentum at this point of time. It can only be perceived, if you keep pushing that narrative all over the place, and that's happening from this morning. The entire narrative is that DMDK, who was being wooed by the NDA, in fact, there were lots of press articles which said that when the Prime Minister comes to Madurai, Premalatha will be there, the DMDK party chief will be there, and whatnot. So both parties did woo DMDK, and finally DMDK decided to go with the DMK. So the perception battle has shifted, and now it is up to the ADMK and BJP to prove that is not the case.
Right, but Ramaswamy Mayappan, this is a question I want to ask both of you. What happens to the perception that the opposition has, or at least the narrative that it wants to peddle against the DMK, saying that it's the DMK that's completely dependent on allies and very little of its own strength remains on ground? How do you see that? And also, what does this mean for Stalin's own ability to get all these allies together?
It is very evident from the DMK's bringing in of even allies with 0.43 that they have to master the anti-incumbency that they're going to face, one. And two is the number of seats that they're going to contest. If they're so confident of themselves, they'd be wanting to contest about 170, 180 odd seats. The lack of confidence in them and their own cadre, their own candidates possibly for the MLAs position are the reason why they'll have to bring in these allies. They may not be able to field in the strongest possible 180, 170 or even 160 people. So that's probably the reason they need to bring in these allies, even if it's 3 seats, 4 seats, put these people in. That way we can get away some of the
Why was the
anti-incumbents,
BJP and AIDMK also trying to woo the DMDK Ramaswamy Mayappan?
See, but that's about countering all of the forces against the DMK's poor rule over the last 5 years. There's a difference in reason why someone wants someone as an ally. Here they have to compensate for it. Therefore, there's a necessity for the DMK to get over that one Rajya Sabha seat which they could have had. Their strength is in the parliament. They lose that strength now, which they could have bargained with Congress as well. Which strength they were
That's
willing
okay.
to lose.
The
because
whole
they are
thing is
not
that those
confident
who
in
would
the state
argue
assembly.
would say that Tamil Nadu has been a game of arithmetic, Vasudha, and in that game of arithmetic, in a closely contested election, even a 0.5, 0.6% change in vote share, like we saw in 2016, where the vote shares between the DMK and the AIDMK was very, very less, but yet it resulted in a massive victory for J. Jayalalitha. So in that arithmetic, we don't know how all these alliances will play. But Ramaswamy Mayappan and R.K. Radhakrishnan will continue to keep analyzing the arithmetic with you and me, Vasudha.
That's right. And Veera, let me also ask you this question. What does this mean for TVK? Because that's one party that we keep discussing, and this clearly means that DMDK is not part of the grand alliance that the
Vijayakant's
NDA
famous
but
dialogue.
what happens to
Vijayakant's famous dialogue, Vasudha. It was Vijayakant's famous dialogue in the Tamil Nadu Assembly when he was the lone MLA. That Singam Singulata varum, Panida Kuta Kutaba varum. That was Vijayakant's famous dialogue, which is that the lion comes alone. Perhaps Vijay wants to retain with that same dialogue.
On that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching us.